Hi, beautiful Virgos. Welcome to your July reading for 2025 with me, Marianne, at Marianne's Mystic Mentions. It's an honor always to be here, and I appreciate everybody that stops in and wants to check it out. First time, second, 100th. It's a small channel, but I intend on continuing to share my knowledge, my passion with tarot, all the different beautiful mystical things I like to mention. And in fact, knowing that I have things that I have to do to make that happen, to be consistent. I'm here consistently every month. I read for every sign. I have a new series that I'm going to be bringing back, a love series, so stay tuned. And then the only other part is your participation. If you like what you see and hear, and you want to support my channel, you just want to push the like button, the subscribe. YouTube really insists on that happening, I think, before they actually help me to expand the channel. So that's really on you, but it doesn't matter. I want you to feel comfortable. There's no cost involved. Just know I'm doing this from my heart. I love it deeply, and I will continue to do it as long as I can. So for you beautiful Virgos, now July it has so many beautiful possibilities, as does every month and every moment and every day of our lives. But truthfully, there's a lot of powerful Venus energy happening, particularly in the beginning of the month. And as I read this to you today on June 29th, we actually have the moon in your sign, Virgo. And that'll be for a couple days. It usually lasts 2, sometimes 3 days. And for me, and I think all of us, we can vouch for the fact that Virgo energy has a lot of positivity as well. It is about fine-tuning and organizing and, getting a little bit serious. It's kind of a serious thing, but it's about planning and executing things so that there's more of a streamlined feeling. And I'm doing that very exact thing. So I wanted to fit in at least a couple readings so I can get them out in a pretty decently amount of time before, the 1st or 2nd of July, I would say, realistically at this point. And it feels good. I love that feeling of organization. Whenever I can do it, I do try to do that, but with your influence in the moon like that. And the moon, of course, is the planet that definitely has to do with our deepest dreams, emotions, I would say emotionality in general. If you're feeling a little more emotional, or as they say, if you're feeling, is it yourself? Or I'm trying to think now that I'm bringing that up. Are you in your feelings? Yeah, that's the saying. You might be, and that's good. I mean, it's important to stop and recognize your emotions and what they may mean to you. Maybe dreams you've had. Is there any messages that you feel are pertinent to you? Well, let's find out more for you. So I always love to start with a chakra check for the month. Now, the chakras are these beautiful, speaking of energy, incredible energy centers built right into us. They are there to vitalize us and to give us our optimal health, optimal vibrational strength, and so on and so forth, right? And I always speak of the 8 chakras. There's many more, but I like to point out the one for the month because Spirit wants me to do so. And it doesn't mean anything's wrong in any way. It's just maybe you want to focus on that, and maybe it'll make very much sense to you. So I will just very simplistically put the 8 cards I have and put them behind my back and shuffle them around a little bit. The last reading was the 2nd chakra, the sacral chakra for Leos. And that's a beauty. That's a beautiful one. All of them are so vastly important for us as human beings and spirits and so forth, and keeping us on top of our game and our being our best selves. So I've shaken, oh, there you go. Now, I always have a conversation with every single sign, and I call it a little bit of a meditation, and I pick up and do my best to pick up on the vibration of that particular sign. You are an earth sign. You are a Mercury ruled sign, and I will mention as well a few things about the very pertinent, important astrological happenings in the sky for all of us, but for you as well specifically. And then also the lunations, meaning the full and the new moons, because they absolutely, all of it affects us, some more than others. But to speak of this is actually the heart. This is the heart chakra. This is the deepest, the most intuitive organ in our bodies. And as I was speaking in my meditation with you, the color that I associate with energy, which is why I wear the gloves, they're a brand I started, and I have mixed emotions about what people think, but really that's what it's about. I like to emphasize the importance of how vibration affects all of us. Colors, it's certainly vibration. You know how you feel good in that certain color, or, so the other colors just, they make you feel weird because energy is about feeling, and it's just, we can't get away from it, right? And yours is a soft, well, pink is a derivative of red, right? And red is also heart. It's, Valentine's Day, red hearts and such. Pink is softer, of course, and it's very, very conducive for right now because we are in Cancer season, and Venus is still in Cancer up until the first week of July, I think July 4th, when it goes into Gemini. But no, this is very much about the heart. This is very much about our emotions. This is about love. This is about compassion and caring, and those we care about deeply. We want to be near them. And it's so conducive for this time of year because, June started our beautiful summer solstice, which happens to be the cardinal aspect of Cancer. Every cardinal sign ushers in a new season. Aries ushers in spring. Cancer ushers in summer. Libra ushers in fall, and Capricorn ushers in winter. So all of those are very, very important. And this is the type of energy that comes from all cardinal signs, where they are doers and innovators, and they start things, and they want to keep busy and so forth. And although you are a Mercury sign, which is very much about the mind, very intelligent, very cerebral, you definitely like keeping busy as well. You're a hard-working sign, Virgo. So anyway, the heart, let me read to you what it says. There's a saying on the back I love very, very much. And I never get tired of reading them because it always brings it back into my vibrational energy and reminds me, and it actually opens up that chakra, which is the intention of it. So the fourth chakra, the heart, divine love fills my heart. I hear the song of the universe, the one song that is mine to sing in this life. I am whole. I am headed. I'm sorry, I thought it said headed. I'm not sure what that's about yet. Maybe that'll come up later. I am healed. I receive and radiate loving kindness. Healing is essentially a very, very big part of it. Now, we do have some planets in, Aries in particular, I believe that's changing too, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many changes this year, unprecedented with the planets changing signs. But we've had the wounded healer, Chiron, is what they like to call Chiron. It's been in the sign of Aries. And so it's all about healing. And it just so happens Virgo is the sign of healing. And many Virgos I've known in my lifetime have attributed their lives and their knowledge and their expertise in the field of medicine or chiropractic or nursing or massage, whatever it is. It's of service to help others and to make them feel better in some capacity. And this is just spot on because that's a very heart-centered thing to do, right? So in feeling you and your energy, I did feel the pink, but it makes sense, and it does kind of all coagulate itself, if that's the proper way to say it, in this reading, because you are definitely focused on the heart this month, and probably a lot, but it's really going to be more of a focus, I think. So then I'm going to correlate the crystal that goes with the heart chakra, and it is the green avatine. It's a beautiful crystal. There are many different forms of each crystal I mentioned, but the words associated are trust, compassion, and once again, healing. Green avatine attract abundance by holding a deep love and trust for myself and the universe. Let me please reiterate that. A deep love and trust for myself and the universe. Something I'm honestly and literally coming into more of an understanding of than ever in my life at this very late stage of my life, where self-love is so potently and so deeply important, and yes, for yourselves and ourselves and oneself, but also for the fact that it fully makes you understand your capacity to love others. It's a give, win-win, give, take. It's just so beautiful to know if I'm kind to myself, then I fully understand how to be kind to others. And a lot of times, if you can relate to this, and then I'll get on with the reading, I promise. But if you notice that people, when they're unkind, you can sense. A lot of times it really didn't have anything to do with you. I mean, they may use you as a reason for being mad, and that's often happens. I'm sure I've done it. We all do it. But the reality is you can look at them, you can see that they're hurting, and it's something within themselves that they're not feeling that balance, that self-love that's so pertinent, so very, very important. So I don't know, I guess the other saying is hurt people, right? So if we recognize that right off the way and have compassion for that, it probably helps right off the bat to kind of excuse it in some ways and forgive it and move on, because we don't want to harbor feelings of resentment and all that sort of stuff. That's the heart opening up, the heart center. It's huge. And I think you'll probably already have been feeling this, but you'll certainly understand, I think, as the month goes on in July. So let's get to the reading. But more importantly, too, let me express to you that we do have our second set of eclipses right around the corner. And in the month of July, there are actually 4 retrogrades. So as many beautiful, energetic circumstances that are going to come from the planetary alignments that are happening right now. There are some big ones that I can mention. We have 4 retrogrades in total. One will be, Mercury, which happens, 3 or 4 times every year, all our lives. It's nothing we can't handle, but there are certain things I like to bring up and mention to those who may, for some reason, never have heard of this. You can look it up. It's very beneficial to know what kind of energies could be happening so that you understand the best way to work with them. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. In doing so, it makes your life a whole lot easier, right? Being forewarned and so forth. But being that is your ruling planet, Virgo, you may notice a little more than a planet or sign that is not ruled by by Mercury. And yet, basically, the thing about Mercury retrograde is that it appears as though Mercury, one of the fastest planets, our personal planet, it's closer to us, closer to the Earth. It appears to be going backwards, but it's just an illusion. And so, therefore, in time, most things get slowed down, and we can physically feel it, certainly mentally. It affects our cognitive skills and communication, and even, in dexterity, trying to send a text and read it. Sometimes we're not reading it properly, we're not sending it to the right person, or maybe we're getting it from the wrong person. Double checking and checking again is your Virgo trait anyway, so that's always highly recommended during that span of time, which actually starts on the 17th, but as of tomorrow, the 30th, this is shadow period, so you might start feeling it right then. A good couple weeks before, a couple weeks after. It ends on August 11th. I always say, I think the most notable times that you notice it are the couple days before, the day of, and then the couple days after, and the day it ends. And in the between, there'll be changes and delays, and if you're traveling, which I think is happening for so many people in July, which is why I love the Mercury retrograde of July, which, by the way, happens in the sign of Leo. That outgoing, personal, I like to be around and have fun, and then we go into from Cancer season to Leo season on the 20th. So a lot of activity, a lot of fun. Just prepare for delays and don't be, too upset about it or frustrated. Car transportation, you can have issues. So just make sure your car is running properly, the tires are looking good and all that. It's not to fear or worry or anything. I've had things happen to my car, and really big things happen, and everything worked out. Just heads up, that's all. So then the other retrogrades are going to be, which, by the way, they happen every year as well, around this time. Retrogrades are about going inward. It's more of an internal time. It's not like having to push too fast or too forward on any one thing. You want to sign contracts if you can help it. Yes, of course, sometimes we have to. There could very well be changes afterwards, mainly. And just to, just take it easy, be flexible, and expect the unexpected a lot of times, which can be fun. I mean, if you're going to put that mindset, and it's really all about that. It's about our mindset. How are we approaching life? How are we letting things get to us? I literally had to stop and say the other day, there's so many bizarre things going on personally, and just the way of the world changing, and when you want to get things done sometimes, and asking for assistance like on a phone or something, it's pretty much non-existent for me. And so in the end, I honestly was laughing because it seems so incredibly different. And yeah, so that's my situation. But maybe you can relate, and do laugh, because it really will help. And it also conveniently, as a side effect, kind of just breaks up any energies that might be blocking you and your beautiful chakras to be your best self and just keep going and motivating yourself and so forth. I'm hoping that I can motivate you too, and make you feel happier, if nothing else. But yeah, this is a beautiful deck I'm using. I use it, I've had it for quite some time, but I love it. It is the Gilded Tarot deck. And so once again, I'm going to be doing 6-card reading, and it's about 25-30 minute reading so far. And so past, present, and future, and a clarification for both, finishing with an oracle card or two. Okay. These have been great readings, I'll be honest. And I'm not saying because they're all, butterflies and rainbows, because, a lot of times there's challenges that are coming through our lives in all different ways for all different reasons. And you get through them and you think, wow, that was a good one. I'm glad that, because I didn't really know. And you just ask, you say, please, Spirit, please, angels, whatever you want to ask, God, higher power, self. What do I need to do? And then allow some time of quiet and, stillness to really get the answer. Sometimes, like, definitely through dreams, especially during Cancer season like this. And by the way, Jupiter went into Cancer, and that's another hugely beautiful thing for all of us. So there's that's going to be that way till next June 25th. So it'll be basically a full year. Benevolent, beautiful Jupiter, expansion, good luck, amazing, beautiful things. If you have placements in Cancer, you'll especially notice it. It's good for you, though, because water and earth are extremely compatible together. So hopefully you've already started to notice some little beautiful gifts and things coming your way. And once again, with Venus as well. I mean, the combination is a gorgeous one for you. So, but I did digress, as I usually do, in saying that the eclipse season is coming up again. We're going to be noticing the shadowy parts as well. But the reality is it's going to be, and has been since January, North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in your sign, Virgo. This is very, very special because it only happens I don't even know exactly, to be honest with you, but it happens for 18 months. There are 12 signs in the zodiac, and the eclipse is always one in pairs. They're always the polar opposition signs, which is Pisces and Virgo, six signs apart from each other, either side of the coin. And yeah, the oppositional aspects is very complementary a lot of times, and it's like yin and yang. It's life. It's up and down. It's light and dark. It's the only way that life actually works, is the oppositional aspect. You can't have one without the other. So this is very pertinent for you in regards to releasing when it's the South Node, which is the position you're in. I just finished the South Node Libra, as I am a Libra, and it was notable. I mean, I can't really say any one thing that just sticks out, although it's still kind of happening, because after the eclipses, it'll last another 6 months or more. And we're just at the 6 month, a little bit over crossover. And I have a Pisces rising, so I have the Pisces influence now too. Bottom line, I noticed things that were ending. Absolutely. I would not have been the one to choose it. That's kind of how I roll. I'm just like, I'll hold on to anything as long as I possibly can. I always think there's ways to work out everything in relationships, and perhaps you have that tendency as well. I think when you do cut it off, though, Virgo, I think it's good and it feels right, and that's exactly what it's about. It's about what feels right, and that's about the toxicity leaving your life, ending, no mas, just doesn't need to be done. It could be things around your house. You're just like too much clutter. This room is an extra room. It's a hobby room. It's a craft room. And I need to get furniture in and out because I'm moving out of the place I'm working. There's so much, right? And I have to just be the Virgo in me and just like, just set aside, okay, that's going to end up going there when that happens. And I'm going to have a person come and help, just doing the the planning stages. So, and then the other two retrogrades will be Neptune and Saturn, which are both in Aries. That'll be about 3 or 4 months. One starts on the 13th of July through, I think it is, I want to say September. The others, I'm confusing. They're both July through like September, and the other is Venus, or it might be Saturn. I actually have it written down here, I'll be honest with you. Saturn in Aries, July 13th to the November 27th, goes retrograde. Neptune in Aries, July 4th to December 10th. I mentioned Mercury from July 17th to August 11th. Full moon Capricorn on July 10th, which is phenomenal and also extremely good for you. Very much about work and, you know, your higher aspirations about how you're going to succeed, what you want to do, how you're going to get there. It's going to put a light on that, okay, so that you can move forward for the new moon, which happens on July 24th in Leo, when we're in Leo season, and it's power. It's, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to do great things, I want to be noted for that, and, you know, I want to shine and have fun in the process and be passionate. Okay, so let's go on with the reading once again. Recent past, bringing you to the reading, absolutely beautiful. When I say recent past, or it could be a little longer past, it doesn't matter. It's not linear. You get the idea. It's anything prior to just before this reading. And it is the 10 of Cups. So in your heart of hearts, which, you know, we've been talking about since we started this reading, you really have a really much more defined understanding for yourself of what your true happiness means, what that means to you. It's individual. It really is. I mean, maybe so-and-so has this and you think, oh, that's nice, but it's not for me. This is what you truly want. You've been thinking about it. You've been meditating. Perhaps you've been away already and you've been on a trip and you really came into yourself saying, this is something I've got to have. I want this now. And it doesn't mean necessarily materialistic. It's just that heart. You want that fulfillment. You know, every day that goes by is another day we don't have. And I know for myself, I think about that more and more. And I want to fill my days doing the things I love, like the readings, like my massages, like being with friends and my cat and my children and my upcoming grandson that's going to be around. And that just thrills my heart to no end. That over succeeds any kind of financial benefit, although all of those together are phenomenal. And the 10 represents all of that and then some. So fantastic for you. And I hope that you can resonate right now with that. And the clarification of that is the 7 of Cups. Well, there's another water indication. So you're really feeling the water. It makes sense. You're right in line with this Piscean Virgo, hugely important, that affects all of us for a long time. Changing and transforming, you know, in our hearts and our feelings and our spiritual beliefs, our dedication to ourselves and others, our deepest desires, dreams, happiness, fulfillment, love, and love. 7 is about a lot of choices, though. So this is the card that, you know, you may be spoiled by choices and you want to narrow them down because it can be more confusing. And I know you're very capable, Virgo, of doing a lot of things and multitasking and all that, but less is more. So do remember that, because, you know, the 7 offers you a lot of opportunity to fulfill a lot of these things that then become the 10. But, you know, you don't want to be maybe taken in by something that seems a little bit too good to be true. That would definitely be an influence of the Neptune retrograde versus when it's direct. Really, because Neptune can be so nebulous and so confusing and so like glass half full. I mean, pink, what is it? Rose-colored glasses. You're like, God, that would be amazing. I could do this, and then from there we could go there, and we could have. No, not necessarily. Or this job that'll pay you thousands of dollars every day. You know, I see those ads. Sure, I'll click on that. No, I'm just saying, you know, use your best judgment, and I know you've got it in spades, Virgos. So, by the way, my grandson's going to be a Virgo if he's born at the right due date time. So yeah, okay, I'm excited. I love Virgos. I really do. So just know that there's a lot of beautiful, loving feelings happening for you leading into this reading. Present time, the star. Wow. Yeah. Well, whatever it is you are wanting and wishing for, you're not and have not. And that's the thing I love about earth signs. You are so persistent and dedicated and just trusting, and you put those feet and you plant those feet on the ground and you plant those seeds, and you literally have amazing gardens, and you can just turn things. I've known so many Virgos with amazing gardens, and I've learned a lot. And I have one planet in Virgo, but that little planet's definitely helped me. It just took time, to take the time. It's a labor of love, as anybody who's had gardens. You're planting the seeds, and you're never going to give up on your dream until it becomes a reality. It doesn't mean it has to happen in exactly the way you think, and you know that too. This is a sign of an Aquarius too. A lot of power, potent aspects with the Pluto having finally gone into Aquarius after being in the Capricorn for many, 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 many moons, which was okay for you as a Earth sign, your fellow Earth sign. But this is about innovative things. This is about thinking and out of the box stuff that you're going to just blow your mind about all the new possibilities, because you just love learning and growing and expanding and just, being your best. And so this is there for you right here and right now. In this moment, what is it you're really wishing for? Or what have you been? Watch it transpire, okay? Maybe quicker than you think. Because the thing I didn't mention is, and this is really important, another sign changing, another planet changing signs. It's been 8 years. It goes into, from Taurus, your other fellow Earth sign, in Uranus. I mean, it's like Uranus is the unexpected, the oh my God, the shocker, whoa, what? I won what? I have to go where? I have to move what? I'm changing what? I mean, it's like that. Not to frighten you, but sometimes it's just so unpredictable. It's just, you would not have thought it, and it can be in the most fantastic ways. Yes, there are times not so much. I can't say what it'll be for you. Think back in your year, the last 8 years, there were things like, I can think of one thing right off the bat. It's not the right thing. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to do that. What I will tell you is, we make do, and yes, there always are going to be things that come out of the blue that aren't necessarily what we were wanting, but they did lead us and train us and teach us to become a little more accepting, or, just maybe not being as freaked out the next time it happens, right? Because that's what life's about. Constant journeys, right? So it goes from Taurus into Gemini, and Gemini is an air sign, and Gemini is duality. It's changeable. It's here. It's there. It's very Mercury ruled, like yourself. A lot of thought, a lot of expression, a lot of conversation, a lot of, AI and technology, and just thinking out of the box. What can you imagine that can happen? You're honest. Okay, for 8 years. It'll go in and out, and then it'll go directly and stay in the sign of Gemini next year. I want to say April, don't quote me on that, 2026, for 8 years. Okay, so clarifying that, you have the High Priestess. Now, this is special stuff, because the High Priestess, in addition to the moon, they say, to me, represents Pisces. And that's water, and that's imagination, and it's creativity, and it's talent, and just the flow juices that just imagine and bring it in. Bring it forth, the beautiful grounding energy that you have, the star, the two here combination. Remarkable things, okay? Please get back with me and let me know what that is for you specifically. You'll start to see little signs. It doesn't all happen at once, although Uranus can make things happen on a dime, and you're like, what? That's amazing. And that's where I'm going. I always want to think the best. You'd be surprised how helpful that is too. It just really is. It can actually manifest things in that light, in my personal opinion. And then the future reading, and you have the Ace of Cups. There you go. You are being offered something. You have, once again, another very, very clear indication that your heart is open. You're emotionally set, stable. You have and will have love, support, always will, always ask. New beginnings. Yeah, so many transportation. I'm sorry. So many transformations. maybe in transportation. I don't know. Maybe that was not a Freudian slip. Maybe that's something to let you know. And I did mention that, with the Mercury retrogrades, there could be delays if you're planning on another trip, or one you've already been on was amazing and you had that and you got a little heads up. It doesn't have to make anything that difficult, okay? And oh, by the way, I always notice for sure, detours to work during Mercury retrogrades. It's like, I don't remember the last 10 plus years of knowing about them. I always watch for them so I have an idea. Because I have a private practice, a business, and people reschedule, and it's just, I have to be on top of that sort of thing, And so I just keep track. But yeah, the detours to work, so therefore and you won't get, bogged down or freaked out about it, because you'll know, you just know, oh, I'm not going that way because it'll set me back a few minutes, right? And then the clarification for the future message of the Ace of Cups is the Queen of Pentacles. There you are in all your glory. It doesn't mean you're a woman. It doesn't mean you're a man. It means that the Queen versus the King in any suit or courtyard suit means that it's your intuition is very strong. You are a giver, a compassionate, caring, grounded. Once again, this is your sign. So it's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns. Maybe someone in your immediate future, immediate surroundings. Could be family, friends, work situations. I personally am surrounded with earth energy. Yeah. And just they just want to help. They just want to hold you and hug you and just say, how may I be of service? Mostly, I'm talking about the higher energy people. I don't really try to focus on anything other than that. So that's the archetype of this beautiful, beautiful energy. And it's a beautiful, beautiful reading. There's nothing about this reading that doesn't make me just say, thank goodness. And yes, it's your turn. It's your time. It's a very, very, very important aspect when you have the eclipses in your sign. It is just something we all go through, and it's not all the time, and it takes a while to get back. I don't know how many times in your lifetime that'll happen. I've been told and I forget, but it's probably 4, 5, 6 times, maybe not that many, maybe even more. But my point is that, yeah, it's very, very important. And this one is really going to ring true for you as a very memorably happy and joyous change for you. Okay, so let me finish with a couple of oracle messages, as I mentioned. And then just tell you that I love and appreciate you very much, all of you. And I just think that life has so much to offer. And I have been I'm being honest, I don't normally say this, but I noticed that I have been affected in negative ways, and I have been letting my mind kind of fall prey to that. And I decided, with the new moon, actually, this most recent new moon in Cancer, which I believe was was last Wednesday, I believe, and I'm not remembering the exact date. I apologize. It was like a week ago. Not quite a week ago. No, I love to laugh. I love life. I know it's not going to be perfect. I know that there are going to be things that are going to destroy me and make me feel sad at times, but I'm going to just pick myself up and say, I don't want to go and dwell into that. I want to be happy. End of story. And that's how easy it can be transmuted and changed. That's our gifts. That's what we can do. So this is the beautiful deck of the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And your message is the word, Lord, communication, praise, and dishonesty. So interesting because, yes, communication, Mercury. Well, maybe it's been a little bit more difficult. Maybe you've detected dishonesty within yourself or other people. It's a 7, which is 4, 3. It's a divinely guided and I say heavenly number, really. It does help us get through our difficulties. I know that there's unfortunately dishonesty that is out and about, but I think your intelligence knows and your intuition is going to be so strong and kicking in that you're not going to allow that. If you have decisions to make with the 7 of Cups that came up, honestly listen to your intuition. It will not let you down. It's the quiet voice, not the one that your mind's trying to fool you a lot of times, okay? But you'll know that too. So yeah, but remember, you know, communication is key. Speaking your truth, from your heart. Let's do another one to clarify that. And you have the hungry ghosts. Obsession, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. Wow. Well, I didn't expect that. We're going to pull a third because it kind of coincides with the dishonesty thing and everything. So somehow, well, it doesn't surprise me. The 1 and 4 equals 5, that's changes. That's what you're releasing. That's what this time is with these eclipses and the Virgo South Node in your sign. It's about all of this. Are you going to hold on to any of it because you think it's, well, I've known that person so long, or I've had this job for so long, how can I change that? I'm right in the middle of that right now. Let it go. So you can open up to the vastness and the beauty and the, just the constant, you know, support and miracles that happen in every moment of our lives. They're happening every single moment. This is around, like I said, it's part of everything. There's a duality in life. Let's let go of that. 3 is a charm here. What do we got? The Arrow Master. Hitting the mark, intention, and detachment. 10, new cycle. You get rid of the 0, it becomes 1. That's what this is about. You're releasing these things. You've got these incredible cards that have been brought up for your benefit because that's the direction you want to be going. You're like the archer, you know, the Sagittarian, Jupiter ruled, pointing the direction you want, that star. You're not going to settle for less, and there's no reason why you should. And I appreciate that you understand that, and thank you for tuning in. I would love to see you back in August because there's more great news happening then. And until then, please, please love yourself. Keep that heart open. Keep that heart chakra open, you know, and just trust in the process. Take good care. Bye for now.